welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Captain Mizzy.
I'm Nerd! Not really, but she'll be back
Your
shortly.
impressions, I'm
They're,
telling you.
they're perfect. I could make a living doing impressions of other people on the podcast. I know. I'm just
That is
that good.
one thing that you cannot charisma your way into.
Guys, welcome to another episode.
Yes, me.
Episode 270. John's away. The cats will play type thing. Oh, yeah. John's not on tonight. He is needed a much needed rest. He worked very hard this last week. And so here's my impression of John. I'm John. So there we go. He's not here. So we are going to be talking about some fun stuff today. We're going to talk about what to do while you're painting. Even though you are painting, you are going to paint. We're going to be talking about some stuff about Lorcana because that's kind of on everybody's topic in mind right now. I'm gonna paint up some miniatures. I'm gonna show for our War Machine fans out there the new Super Heavy Invictus Jack that came out, and this thing is a beast.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. It's a pretty cool model, 3D printed version from Prevature Press. So we're going to talk about that. Before that, we got to get to the business. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting our channel and putting it out there for everybody and giving it out to the masses. Make sure you go check out their store and you can find out some cool stuff and get everything doing. We want to thank Parabellum War Games, the makers of Conquest, which is a good rank and flank with amazing models. And if you need anything else, just think they have orcs riding dinosaurs. How cool is that shit? We want to thank Turbo Dork. They are going to be at ReaperCon, by the way. So if you're heading to ReaperCon pretty soon, you can see them there. They will have some new stuff going on. I just talked to them last week. They're going to have some new products ready and available for everybody to try at ReaperCon. It's going to be one of the first spots that you can buy some new stuff at ReaperCon from Turbo Dork. So make sure you check them out. We want to thank Creature Caster, of course. They are doing some really, really, really cool shit lately. If you like Patreon stuff, make sure that you go check out them because they do not only the I was a tribe on My Mini Factory where you can get like 6 to I think it's like 12 models, but it also comes with a 5th edition module. So you can play their game and it's based in their world. So you can do all this cool stuff. And so you got a bunch of cool stuff with them. We want to thank Midnight Heroes, which will also be at ReaperCon. So make sure you go check out all them for all their chibi stuff. And they will be at Warfare Weekend also. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. I think I
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure. So, with that, guys, we want to appreciate you listening to us, watching, and whatever platform you decide you want to do this on. It means a lot to us, whether you like it or not. It means a lot to us. There's always it's always interesting when people say, hey, I listen to your show, and I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, y'all are pretty cool. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks.
Or, hey, I recognize your voice, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
That's not weird. No, I'm kidding.
So, but other than that, our shout outs this week. Bob Barker, longtime host of The Price is Right. Everybody knows Bob Barker. Man was 99 years old. Damn.
Every sick kid in America who had to stay home knows Bob Barker.
Yes.
My brothers and I watched it like religiously on during the summer when our parents were at work. We would like get together and watch Price is Right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You could. He was actually a pretty good guy too. He wasn't just doing his stuff.
Yeah.
He actually helped out, used his money in good ways. So
Big advocate for a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Spay neuter your pets.
Yep,
exactly.
Spay neuter your pets. That was always a big thing. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, was it Arlene Sorkin?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was the original voice for Harley in the cartoon.
And she continued to voice Harley throughout the years as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a big thing.
Give me 1 second. Somebody sent me something I need to.
To say it's Kaylee Cuoco now for the Harley Quinn show.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is still fun as shit and goes
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Kaylee Cuoco's
I-
amazing too.
I love that Alan Tudyk is at least 2 different characters.
Yes. Do we really expect anything less of that man, though?
I went to Juilliard.
So, but she passed away. I didn't see why, how, or what was the thing. I just know that she did pass away. So it's a shame. She was young. So,
Yeah.
I
I don't remember reading the details either, but yeah.
No, but she was very young. Guys, please take care of yourself. Please take care of others. 65, still young.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yes.
If you see something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you can't, find somebody that will. And if you hear something, say something too. Get involved. Don't let shit fly anymore. But before we do a cheers, Captain Mizzy, what are you drinking?
Fizzy water.
Fizzy water?
Raspberry and blackberry flavor fizzy water.
Okay.
No sugar, tastes like Kool-Aid. It's amazing. I love it.
What's the sweetener in it? Saccharin?
That's a good question. Hold on.
Stevia.
Stevia. Saccharin. Stevia. Both of them give me the runs.
Sucralose.
Sucralose. Give me the runs.
Sucralose.
I can taste them. Yep.
Yeah. Give me the poops. Can't drink that stuff. All right. Move on. TMI. Nerd, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Snapple peach tea with some Irish whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I am drinking water. I've been fighting off some allergies this week. Whatever plants are out there trying to have sex with each other, they need to stop because I'm tired of getting the sniffles and sneezing like crazy. So that's what are we doing? But guys, please look after each other. Please, please, please take care of each other. We want to see you at the next convention, whether it's you're going to be coming to Warfare Weekend, hint, 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 or Adepticon, hint, hint, hint. We want to see you there. Cheers.
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 One more time.
Let's get lit, y'all. No, I'm kidding.
What? All right.
This is like 90% peach tea and 1% whiskey.
You know, with how my tolerance is, that would get me lit right now because my tolerance got shot to hell and back, and I'm a little mad about it.
We're going to switch this camera over. So I'm going to be I'm still working on my judgment model, which is going to be ooh, that's not what I wanted it to do. I need to clean up my desk for a second. I was putting together a model. Oh, so this is the Brine Blood model. Do I have the camera set up? Yeah. So this is Boom Howler.
I love that purple.
Yeah, it's a really good purple.
What color is that?
That is the Cuttlefish purple. Can't remember which one it was.
Is it Chromomancer? Or is...
I can't remember. It was... I'm going to have to figure it out because I'm going to be using it again. I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to pull it out
I'm
again.
trying to remember. I'm like, all of my paints are inside right now because it was so flipping hot this week. It got up to 120 degrees.
Oh. So this
With
is
heat
the
index.
Boom Howler model. Sits on a medium base. Standard War Machine model. Here is Magnus. Magnus 4. Haven't primed him or anything. But Magnus comes with the new super heavy jack,
He's on
Invictus.
a 30 millimeter base.
Yeah, and then this is the new
Invictus.
Invictus, which is the super heavy
A
war
little bit
guy.
down. Yeah, there you go.
So I mean, he's a beast. Behemoth. So new model. I got that as a gift from Privateer Press. Thank you, Privateer Press. We love you. Type stuff. But so I'm gonna be working on this model.
Privateer Press gave me troll models, troll pirate models specifically. So I'm forever in love with them.
I'm actually going to work on the wings today because I'm actually going to do some contrast coloring on the wings. I'm going to do this dark blue, Talisar blue on the tip ends right here, and then I'm going to use this Athmeric blue on the outside of the wings and try to do like a shading on it and see how that goes. I mean, it's going to be, it is contrast
Fancy.
paint, but so we can paint over if we need to anyway. But I want to test that out, see what it's like. Fix that. Guys, we're also going to be doing a giveaway pretty soon. We are waiting on Turbo Dork to get something in. Their new, see, these old school, rubber paint things. They made new ones and they're ready and they're getting shipped out. And we're gonna hold off on the giveaways of their gift certificates because I know everybody's been wanting to get those. So we have like 2 or 3 more gift certificates. So
And
All right.
everyone gets a fair chance. I will not be entering into any of these this time because everybody deserves nice things, not just me.
It's true. It's true.
they're on my. So like everybody in the world today, we're all an ADHD mess. And we all have issues trying to stay focused on stuff. So a lot of us do other things while we're doing things. AKA when I'm usually watching TV, unless it's like a super, super, super good show, I'm also doing something else in the process. And it's actually really hard for me to concentrate on other things unless it's like really, really good. So I'm either like reading a book while I'm watching TV or I'm, doing something while I'm watching TV. And that also goes with painting. That we're also, during painting, I'm also doing something else. And I just don't like sitting here painting. I know, weird type thing. And this got me thinking because someone said today, hey, I need to watch something while I'm painting. And I'm like, that's something I can't do. I can't watch something while I'm painting. I can listen to something while I'm painting, like listening to a book. I need to finish Fourth Wing.
Yes, you do. Please.
I'm
I
almost done with it.
can half watch stuff while I'm painting, but it's in the sense that like it's D&D, so I don't have to watch. Like I'll
Yeah.
watch. Yeah.
So,
It's like 80% listening, 20% watching.
so
So
for
like
me,
Go
go ahead, nerd. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, so like if I miss 10, 20 minutes because I've been painting furiously or got hyper focused, I'm not missing anything because I'm still listening.
Yeah. So for me, it has to be something very low brain energy for me to watch while I'm painting. So like today I watched Treasure Planet. I've seen it hundreds of times. I know what's going to happen, but I still need that brain stimulation noise stuff. But then I can also watch a show that I haven't watched, like Shameless, for instance, and I can paint, and it's not a big deal if I miss something because I'm still listening to it, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's shows where like I can never watch anime because I have to watch it subbed. I will not watch dubbed. Like it's not that I won't. I rarely watch dubbed anime. So, or if I do, it's like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because I know half of the voice cast is from Critical Role, or like, well, not half of it, but a chunk of it. So I'm like, oh, I know these people. Okay, I'll recognize these voices, kind of a thing. Or like, another thing that one of the things that I love to watch while painting is, have you ever heard? Again, it's more listening, but have you ever heard of a YouTube series called Dingo Doodles?
No.
I have not.
Uh, she talk. It's mostly D&D stories, but she does animation to go along with it, and I'll throw that on.
Ooh,
And
okay.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, like how she, like, one of the stories is how she destroyed or doomed the world with really bad karaoke.
Nice.
So yes, Fool's Gold. Exactly. Xander knows what I'm talking about.
I see. I can listen to books or
Mm.
stories or whatever, but I cannot have something that's watched. Now, I can put I can put, music on, but I'm not really into listening to music while I'm doing thing. It's not very stimulating because then I just get it becomes where I'm not paying attention to the music, and so it just doesn't really matter. Especially if it's music I like, I'll be like, da, 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 and then I go into auto mode and I'm just, not into it as much. So
See.
I can't do music for some reason.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
books, this is the reason why I also like audiobooks, is because I can listen to an audiobook and it keeps me focused on the book, but doesn't pull me away from this. I know it's like some people can't paint and talk at the same time, too. That becomes a big issue with people, is they get just, I wouldn't say disturbed, but you know what I'm saying. They get distracted.
I can talk during anything.
Challenge accepted. But I know a lot of people that just they don't like to sit and paint by themselves. It just gets annoying to them, or they just can't do it. The silence and the stuff they just can't do it. So that was something I thought was interesting. Oh, before we get too deep into this, this past week a new card game has come out, and it is kind of, I wouldn't say sweeping the nation, but people are going crazy for it, and people are going stupid crazy for it. It
Well,
was a
it's Disney.
It is Disney. There was a I would say I would say it's a pre-release of the card set and cards this week, and scalpers are going to be scalpers,
Scalpers are
and
gonna be assholes. Let's just say it.
and jerk stores are going to be jerk stores about it. That's just how it is. So for people that know, Lorcana came out in a limited release this week. It's not to come out until I don't know, the first or something. And for anybody wondering, it is a Disney-based Magic the Gathering. Pretty much what it is. And to tell you how bad it's gotten, some of the cards straight out of the pack are like $600.
It's insane.
It's insane what people are charging to, for these cards. But what makes it even worse is the scalpers. So I understand that, people have to make money off of, the stuff that they are selling. The suggested retail price of these cards for a pack for the starter deck is $16.99. I've seen some places sell them for, $20. That's not a bad markup. That's a reasonable, understandable markup from there, even though they should still be $16.99, but $20 isn't bad. But all these scalpers and disrespectful game stores are selling them for $30. I'm like, yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Now, some game stores are like they only allow you to buy, one of something. You can't buy all of them,
Mm.
type thing. Which I can understand that. That way, that gives everybody a chance to buy it. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're charging double to triple for this card game. Now, this card game is any other like collectible card game. There's rares and all that other stuff, and everything's Disney based, so it's you know gonna get the Disney fans and everybody else kind of involved with it, which is okay. They're actually trying to reach for a younger audience, although you're gonna have people that are gonna buy it and play it and do whatever. Hell, I'm a 50-year-old guy and I play this game because you know why? It's fun. So, Captain Mizzy, why don't you go ahead and talk about it since you got to play it? And this is kind of like you've played some before, but this is a whole new era for you.
So I used to play trading card games in like middle school, high school type thing, and then I kind of fell out of it for various reasons. But this game is so easy, and I love it. I don't have to think a whole lot, and the characters are so fun.
The
So
art looks gorgeous.
yes, Gonzo, do you have that card nearby?
Not near me. So I
Oh,
was opening one of the packs and I got one of the enchanted cards and
you got a shiny Hades.
a shiny with an alternate art. It's a shiny card with an alternate art, and right now that card's selling for $120. So,
He's cool.
but
Anyway,
it is Hades with an alternate art and foiled.
I also saw that this is Ravensburger putting this
Yes.
out, who's a well-established gaming company. I've actually visited the Ravensburger store in Ravensburg when I went to Germany.
yeah. So I watched a tutorial on it from one of the main game developers that made it between him and somebody else explaining the game. And it was really easy to get onto. So you start with 7 cards, and then different cards do different things, of course. They have like song cards that you can play. Those are really fun. So you get song cards, you get action cards, you get your character cards, and then so you start the game. You show your opponent the card that you want to put in your inkwell, so that you can use that ink to play characters as you go. And different characters cost different things, so as with items and such. So I'm playing the steel and well, it's the blue and gray colors. I have to talk to people in colors. It's just how it is. And it's like you're meant to smash with this particular deck type of thing, like deal a lot of damage. And it's so they actually have cards that say smash on them, and it's got like a giant ice giant type thing. It's really cool. But so you can take out your opponents like that, or you can challenge your opponents with your characters, or you can play items that deal damage as well. So like fire the cannons and Captain Hook, and you could build a whole deck around pirates, for instance, or a whole bunch of, or a deck of princesses, or all the Mickeys and just everything.
Yay, pirates.
Of course, pirates.
Of course, pirates.
Do we expect anything else out of me at this point?
The
No.
interesting part about this whole game is yes, it's like you're playing a Magic. It's kind of got elements of Magic the Gathering, and it's got really good art, and it's very very simple. A lot of parents have been saying like their 6-year-old daughter can play this game, and has a starter deck and she knows how to play this game and can pick it up very well, and she can go to the game store and play with other people very well because it's a very it does have a lot of there is a deck that has a lot of good combos and does a lot of combo stuff, which is really good, but kids are able to pick this up and play quite quickly. The adults grab the concept, pretty quickly. You don't have to worry about shit.
Yes.
But they were really trying to hit a market where, yes, if I want to play a entire deck of Disney princesses, you can. Or I want to play an entire, pirate, or I want to play an entire Moana, or whatever. You can.
Grandma Tala is fantastic in this game. So Grandma Tala has a special ability where if she gets banished, she doesn't go in your discard pile. She goes into your inkwell, so she can be of use still.
Nice.
So for
Yes.
people, for the inkwell is typically your mana if you played Magic, and you exert that to do abilities, and so you have things that take a while to dry, like certain. When you bring out a character card, you're actually drawing them with ink, and so they take a little bit to dry. So you can't use them the turn they come out.
Unless
So
they have special abilities like Rafiki, where you can rush people.
yeah. So every card, there's always a card that
Rush
breaks the
them?
rule. Yeah, Rafiki has an ability that whenever he's played, he can challenge other characters right away. Typically, when a card comes out, they can't do anything but just sit there drying because you're painting them with ink.
Yes. And then Hercules has a good one of the Hercules that I was playing. He's got Bodyguard, and he can come out exerted, ready to play. And if your challenger, if your opponent tries to challenge you or attack, then they have to attack Hercules first. So he protects.
Gotcha. So he's got almost like a taunt ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Nice.
They've taken some of the best parts of Magic and not dumbed it down, but made it very simple for people to get.
Yes. And they put a lot of thought into the cards and the lore too. Like the things that they do, it makes sense.
That's good.
Because
Yes.
As opposed to just doing it for the sake of doing it.
So
Correct.
some of the things that you can do, which I thought was interesting, is what's called singing. You can technically have a character sing a song, and so you don't have to use your ink to cast the spell or whatever it is. And so the character sings it, and they can bring it out. So, of course, Disney princesses can sing a whole lot better and blah, blah, blah. So, you can bring out cards a lot cheaper and quicker by singing and all this other stuff. And it fits, like a prime example, Ariel on her feet when she has legs can't sing at all because she has no voice.
Aha!
Yes.
Smart.
But
Smart.
Cinderella, which can sing very well, she can sing cards better at a different points value than what she is. So I mean, they put some pretty decent thought into this. It wasn't like typical, things that are brought out by a thing. It's like, oh, here we're just going to shove this out here so we can try to make some money, type thing.
Yes.
They actually thought about how things are put together. Your object is to collect 20 lore. You're not attacking your opponent. You're trying to collect 20 lore, and the first person to 20 wins. Type
Okay.
thing. So,
But you're motivated to attack your opponent by destroying their characters so that they don't go questing and kill and not generate the lore that they need.
correct.
So
I like that concept.
we were Erica and I were playing our game. I feel a little bad for this, but at the same time, it's just a part of the game, and she's okay with it. She gave me a face when I did it, but she had like 5 or 6 characters out, and I had basically nothing. But I had a card in my hand. It was a song that I could play. Basically, I sent an angry mob out after her characters, and
It's
all of her characters got 2 damage each.
Yeah, get your sword, and it's the mob scene from Beauty and the
Beauty
Beast.
and the Beast.
So
Yep. So, but I mean, the whole point, the game is fun. There's nothing wrong with the game. I haven't found anything big issues. It's quick and easy. You play the best 2 out of 3 to make it, whatever.
Is it just 2-player or is it multiplayer?
You can do multiplayer. They give you options. You can do multiplayer, so there's not, a problem with that. It's typically played one against one, but they even say that they'll eventually have rules because there's cards that affect. They already kind of future proofed it instead of opponent. It says all opposing characters
Hmm.
type thing. So everybody, you know, things affect everybody and everything. So and the rule and the it's straightforward too. There's not like people have been asking the questions. Well, does this do this? It says the card says it does that. Doesn't matter. They're like, but it's in here. It says doesn't matter. There's
What's your
nothing that
card
protects.
say?
Yeah.
Read your card.
See, I could just see playing this with my roommate, and she was a vocal major, and loves Disney. So she would probably, when those sing cards come up, actually sing.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
There are people that
Yeah.
have been talking about the kids, these younger kids playing it because it fits them. They understand
Mhm.
it. They get the concept that there's been stories from parents that are like, my kid can't play Magic because it's just too complicated. They can play this and they love playing it because there's something about Mufasa biting Cinderella's bum and, people singing a song and so on and so forth that the kids get.
Yeah.
So, but the big issue right now is the scalpers are going insane right now, and it's bad. I mean, I understand jacking the price up a little bit type thing, but charging 3 times the cost, no.
It's too much.
You're just being a jerk. But it's supposed to hit, open market while, so everybody can get it next week, the 1st.
So our local game stores have said that they will not be able to restock until the 15th or the 16th of September.
Yeah.
So
If I had known about this ahead of time, I would have sicked my roommate on it. Because she would have been like, yes, Disney.
It's a lot of fun. They do have an app so you can kind of look at all the cards and you can see what everything is. And you can already, look at stuff. So it's there and you can. It does have a deck building, but not an app for deck building. But they only have starter decks and they had some boosters. And so you can kind of customize your deck a little bit. But nobody has any boosters because most people stole those or, bought them all up. So everybody's just playing with the pre-constructed decks.
and honestly, the pre-constructed decks are pretty great, just
they're
as they
pretty
are.
fun. Yeah, they're pretty fun.
Because that's what we were playing with, and I was having loads of fun.
Yeah. Nobody was having any. There hasn't been. The prices on some of the. Like I said, even the aftermarket prices on stuff is ridiculous. I mean, I have a card that's worth $120 right now. And it just came out. It is a cool Hades card, but still. The most expensive card that comes out of the deck, not like a promo card or whatever, is Elsa alternate art rare card, and it's selling for about $500 right now. And people are like, should I sell it or should I keep it? And people are like, I would sell it now because you don't know when the market's going to go bust, and just get rid of it. Get your money out of it while you can. Now, if you want to keep it, fine, but $500 is a lot of money.
Yes. I could do a lot with $500.
Yeah. So
Fix my car with $500.
That's a car payment and my electric bill.
Word.
to your mother.
Well played, Gonzo. Well played.
But there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, the game's fun. The game's fine. But it's becoming ridiculous. If you want to get into it, they're showing up at Walmart and Target now, so you could technically try checking there for any of those cards.
They're definitely not listed online because they know better.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, people are saying that they're Walmart and Targets are not listing them online, so people don't rush there. You just have to. People are just going in and checking, type thing. So
In the last week, I've made 3 super centers stops. Do I know how many stops I've been to a Walmart supercenter in the last 6 months?
3.
5. I needed primer for my Space Marines. I need purple primer for my Space Marines, so I went to Super Center then, and then there was one other thing that I couldn't get at the neighborhood market. But in the last week, I've been 3 times. Thanks, Gonzo.
But so if you like card games and it's cheap card games for what they're actually supposed to be, it's actually a pretty good game. I was really impressed by it. I mean, I played Magic back when it was, an alpha beta stage, and now haven't played them forever, but it's been a pretty fun game. I haven't had any really big issues with it.
Yeah.
So, back to painting type stuff. Nerd, besides, what do you like to do while you're painting? I know you streaming. I don't. I don't like to stream by myself and paint. I've noticed. I like to have someone else there.
I prefer to have someone else. But trying to find people that are available at the same time that I stream is difficult. I used to have somebody that I had a weekly co-stream with, but no, I like talking to chat and streaming. Like otherwise I listen to music. I'm like mostly paint on stream. I will occasionally paint off stream depending on what I'm working on, but I need to get back into painting now that the weather is a little bit better, though we've got another heat wave coming this week. But no, I mostly listen to music. I've got a couple of playlists that I listen to. One of them is Frog Leap Studios.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Leo.
Yes,
Leo's
I
the
love
bomb.
listening to
Yes.
Leo because I recognize most of the music, or I'll listen to a bardcore playlist. Or depending on what I'm working on, I've got some playlists that I had made for different regions of my D&D world, and I'll put one of those on where it's mostly instrumental.
Nice. That's a good chill option.
Yeah.
Sweet. Which, by the way, we haven't been able to do our streams lately. Nerd hasn't been able to because of various reasons. I am waiting to see what my new work schedule is. So once I figure out and know what my new work schedule is, I will figure out a day that I can do some streaming and such. And so I don't know what I'll be doing, but I'll be doing some. I just have to figure out what my new work schedule is. Not that it's anything bad. I just want to see it's a new job, want to see where I'm at, what I'm doing. Then I will figure out from there.
Get adjusted.
Get adjusted. Not by a chiropractor, that's for sure. Because fuck them. And the poopy horse they rode in on. So,
Tell us how you really feel.
I hate chiropractors. Type of thing. So, Nerd, what projects are you working on? I know you were working on some Disney stuff to begin with. Or did she disappear?
No.
Oh, okay.
Disney stuff.
I know you were doing Captain Hook and Peter Pan or whatever.
Oh yeah. Let me get those. Where's Peter? I am not quite done with Peter Pan, but I've got the Captain Hook stuff here. So these little guys, but I don't think of them as Disney. But I totally, yeah. That's why I was thrown off. I was like, wait, Disney? What? Yeah, Peter and Captain Hook. Next, I'm probably gonna paint up my Mythbuster gnomes. I've got Adam and Jamie as little
Those
gnomes.
are so cute.
I found these at Adepticon. This was the chibi vendor that had a bunch of stuff. I've also got these are I'm probably mostly going to be working on the little chibis and stuff that I got from Adepticon that I've had sitting primed on my desk for months now.
Glorious.
What?
I've got the luggage from Discworld. I've got Vivi, the Black Mage from Final Fantasy IX. Well, Final Fantasy in general, but uh, yeah. I have a whole bunch of. I have to finish the 6 cats that I was sent because there's a running joke on my stream. One of my redeems is I have 6 cats.
And I cannot lie. You other brothers can deny.
Not
When a cat
quite.
walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you say, "Get the fuck out of here!" No, sorry.
Careful, Gonzo, you're gonna get
Get
us
your
tossed.
butthole away from my
Copyrighted.
face.
No, that would be parody. That one's legal.
Okay.
Did anyone get anybody get any of the Dark Crystal mini bust STLs a few years ago? No, Cookie.
No, that would have been awesome. Dark Crystal is one of my favorite worlds. I actually own the role playing game too, so yes, that would be awesome.
Nice. That would be that would be fun to play.
Oh, it's actually a really good system because it really shows like the Dark Crystal and like the rituals and everything, and you can play.
The book's pretty too.
Oh, the book is gorgeous.
Oh, I'm sure. Brian Proud's. Yes, embrace your gelfling self. But Brian Proud's art has always been fantastic.
So sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Oh no, you're fine.
I would love to have the Dark Crystal STLs. I'd print the shit out of those. My dog's going nuts. What Jim say?
Embrace your gelfling self. I did, but they threw me out of the theater.
Embraced a little too much, my dude.
I've also got three kobolds in a trench coat to paint. So, but yes, the I Have 6 Cats is a song by somebody named Anna Akana, and it's her singing about her 6 cats. And so somebody sent me 6 Maine Coon minis. Some of them are like little adventure kitties, and some of them are just plain cats. But let me see if I can. It's gonna be super teeny, but this is the one that I painted up of like my cat.
That's cute.
Yeah, they're teensy. And then kind of on a Disney route, but just because it's another Moonlight mini, I also have Delphine from Moonlight Minis, her female caterpillar that I'm gonna paint up. So that's mostly what I've been working on. Some Disney-esque stuff and some other little chibi stuff.
Nice.
I'm almost done with this dude.
Someday I want somebody to do a fantasy version of Kronk from Emperor's New Groove for me to paint.
Yes.
I'm sure there's an STL out there somewhere.
But him with a squirrel.
It would be great if it was like a diorama scene with a lever. Couple levers.
Hold the lever, Kronk! Kronk,
lever!
Yeah, there's a reason that I named my tiefling fighter Yzma in my D&D campaign.
Glorious.
I still need Dio to send me the 3 kobolds in a trench coat that he's having me paint for folks. He's having me paint an extra one for I don't remember what reason, but
just because.
Ooh, actually, nix everything I said. I need to make, other than my commission, I need to make my priority my Skarn. This is Mike Disney's character from Moonlight Minis. This is his D&D character rendered. So, little dwarf, because I was painting that for him for DisneyCon next month. So, and not Walt Disney, Mike Disney.
No affiliation to the mouse.
No. He may have to change the name of DisneyCon. I don't think the Disney proper is gonna look too kindly on that.
Yeah, you may have to be careful with that.
But it's the first year it's happening, and it's only gonna be like 30 of us.
Yeah.
It'd be super small. I'll be running D&D while occasionally painting minis, but I have a feeling that I'll just be running D&D the whole time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. That reminds me, I have maps to draw.
Maps? We don't need no stinking maps.
Well, unless people show up with terrain for me, I can't run this encounter without like at least some paper monsters. So, because I have a lot of minis, none of which are for anything specific. They're all for fun and display. I think the only ones now that Gonzo has gifted me are the Harry Potter minis that actually go to a game. Nothing else does.
Well, I'm almost done with this model. Even though I'm painting the base one, I should also be painting the metallic parts of this.
I like all the colors you've got going so far.
Oh, got to put some shrooms. Because, you know.
Well, of course.
Shrooms.
The
And shrooms
shrooms.
have to be colorful. That way you know not to
Mushroom.
Mushroom.
Boy, that's old school.
Yeah, I'm old.
And yet not the oldest.
Nope.
Nope, I am.
Not even the weirdest.
Nope, I
Definitely not the weirdest.
I also keep it pretty tame. I can get pretty weird, but it's more just the random weirdness.
Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, you guys, we should play Jackbox sometime.
Yes.
Lizzie plays that.
I've got like 5 or 6 different packs, so we can play anything.
I love Jackbox.
Me
Jackbox
too.
can
I
be
play on
great.
Monday nights in my server. It's fun.
Should play that in More Than Dice server.
Oh, but no, now that my co-DM, he's one of my Jackbox regulars. If he's gonna have to work at night, no. Curse him getting a job. How inconvenient.
Oh, crap. I'm trying to find that one red... What was that? That red John was talking about from Turbo Dork.
Oh.
Life
The
on
Mars?
Mars?
Yeah. I just remembered Mars being part of it.
I'm trying to... So problem with, like... While I like all these colors and in these little things, the color... Oh, there's Life on Mars. The problem with this is Life on Mars, it's white. Because it's not shooken up. So it's hard to figure out what this is. I'm going to put this down first and see what it looks like. Because if not, I'm going to do a bronze. I got a bronze in... Scale 75 I really, really like. It's like a golden bronze. So I gotta do the bell. Dong. Ka-dong.
Yeah. Yes, fruit soup. Talk about Litching Hour.
Yes.
Yes.
That's usually where I play Jackbox stuff.
Well-
Yeah. They're the ones who introduced me to the Rift Tracks game, which I promptly bought and have gotten my friends to play.
Rift Tracks is good for me to watch. I feel like I struggle making up comebacks with it, but like things like Quiplash and Junktopia is really fun.
I love Junktopia.
Um,
I also like the enormous or the Wheel of Enormous Proportions.
I feel like there's a lot of people who don't like neurodivergent or yeah, right? It's in the same package, Junktopia. It's
I
got the
have to
little
check.
monkey.
I haven't
Um,
played that one.
I like it. Um, it is kind of a learning curve because the way that they phrase certain things in it's a little confusing at first, but then once you're like, oh, this is what they mean, then you get it, type thing.
We play a lot of Fibbage
Fibbage is good
and
too.
TKO,
TKO.
where you're designing T-shirts and coming up with slogans, and then making shirts out of other people's mashups, and it
TKO is so ridiculous.
TKO is one of my favorites. Yes,
It's great.
it's yeah, they're
No
never
cookies.
lewd.
That never lewd at all. Ever.
Never,
No.
ever.
Especially in Fruit Soup. They are, G-rated, man.
Oh yeah.
Telling you.
Bunch of nerds.
There's a reason I do not stream my Jackbox games.
Oh no.
Because I don't want to even question whether or not something is TOS safe. We just assume that it's not.
Yeah.
And it's safer for all of us.
It's a whole thing.
I'm trying to
Nerds
remember
inappropriate. What?
There's the Rap City one with the robots. I can't
That one's
remember what
that one's
one's
fun for
called.
me to watch too.
Yeah,
The
I'm
rap
good with
stuff with
rhyming,
robots.
so I like even if my sentence doesn't make sense, I can make it rhyme. So, there's also Survive the Internet. That's a good one.
I haven't played that one. If you're good with Trivia Murder Party is fun.
Oh yeah. I'm usually one of the
That's
first
a
two people
classic.
to die.
Well, yeah, of course. But at least you get to be a cute little ugly doll thing.
I know, and then I can be Ugly Doll Jr. in the next
Yeah.
episode. Or Ugly Doll the Third. Depending on how many rounds we play.
Exactly. What else is there? I think those are the main ones. Isn't there another drawing game?
Yes, Drawful and Patently Stupid. Patently Stupid is where you come up with solutions to everyday, quote unquote, everyday problems. But it's a
Champed
little.
Up. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't played that one.
You can have like 16 people in it.
Oh, Champed Up. Yeah. That's the one where you make the different like champion of whatever. Yeah. I remember that one now. I have played that, but we don't play that one very often.
Yeah.
We kind of stick to our regular like 4 or 5 games, and then we'll usually end with riff tracks.
Oh, Job too. Yeah, Job's on Jackbox.
What time is it?
7:55.
Well, it's time for media section. So I'm going to try to get this last bit of bronze on here. And then we'll go to media section, where Captain Mizzy says she has 7 things to talk about, and
3.
Got 3.
Don't be too ambitious. I got 3.
I finished an audiobook series I can talk about. Boom.
Nice.
boom shakalaka laka.
I started a new audiobook, but I didn't get very far into it.
I would recommend the one that I read, or I will give my review, but I didn't read it. I had it read to me.
It counts.
I honestly think the reason I got into audiobooks so much is because we had oral literature when I was a kid, where they like everyone in your grade, their teacher would read the same book to the class.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had the Redwall books when I was in 6th grade,
Oh,
or
okay.
like they read like a Gary Paulson book or something like that. I think they read, I think it was Hatchet or something. I can't remember, or The Giver or something like.
Yeah. I like audiobooks because I don't have to sit down and read.
Reading
I can do
makes
other
me
things.
tired.
Yeah.
Like actually reading makes me tired. Like like it's why it takes me so long to read anything, because A, I'm already a slow reader. B, I fall asleep half the time with a book on my lap.
I used to be that person that could sit down and read an entire chapter book that thick in one night, and
I
then
was never that person. I am so
and then I
envious
burned
of
out.
you.
And now I can't read for
Fair.
shit.
It's because you're.
I read comics now, or graphic novels.
What, Gonzo? What am I?
It's because
A burnt out millennial?
well, it's also the ADHD. You're like constantly wanting to do things and get things done.
Yes. Yes.
Accurate.
The whole
Accurate.
thing.
Yep. I feel that in my core. Got to do all the
Anyways.
things all the time.
All the
All of them.
small things.
Small
Have you
things,
ever
big
heard
things.
of, was it not Hyperbole and a Half? Uh, it was a online comic for a while, and she has one where pumping their fist into the air is like, do all the things. I must do all
Tomorrow!
the things.
All right, so
ADHD, do
media.
all the things. But procrastination. Tomorrow!
All
Yay!
right, media section. I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can go some other things. Oh, and working on an audiobook right now, which I can give a partial review on. Nothing big on it. No spoilers on that one. But I am going to spoil 2 things. So I'm going to start with one that kind of pissed me off. So I've been watching this series on Netflix called Ragnarok. It's a Norwegian TV series about what happens if the Norse gods came back in modern day.
Ooh.
Is that anime one?
No, no,
Okay.
not the anime one. There's a live
No.
action,
Okay. Okay, I got
and
you. I know where you're at now. Okay.
like they don't know that they're gods until Thor comes back into town because he was off doing something. His like mother took him to a mental hospital and all this other stuff, and he's now a teenager and you know coming back to school finds out that he's Thor and his brother's Loki, so on and so forth. Spoiler warning: I'm going to ruin the ending of this, so here you go. If you don't want to know the ending of Ragnarok, please leave, close your ears, whatever. The series
Mute
was
the
good.
tab.
Yeah, mute tab, whatever. The story was good. It was oh, what happened to the Norse gods were disguised as normal humans and the giants, and Ragnarok was going to happen, and it had a good twist, had a good story, had everything else. Season 3 came out. We knew it was going to be the last season, and everything's going on, and Thor's like, we're about to go fight the giants, and we're going to, have Ragnarok kill all the giants, going to make it safe for humankind again and Norse kind again. And he decided, no, we're not going to fight. We're like, hey, we need to learn to work together. We need to do, we need to learn to, live together, so on and so forth. Okay, fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's a new twist, so on and so forth. So they get to the end of the series and last episode, and they're all just kind of talking and getting stuff done. And Thor starts having these flashes. And he's like seeing the future where, the war actually starts. Um, so on and so forth. And so, the Norse gods and the giants are killing each other. And everybody's, fighting. And Thor goes to fight, the world serpent. And he goes up and he, fights the world serpent. And the world serpent, he kills world serpent, but the world serpent kills him. And while he does that, he falls down and Thor dies. And he goes back living on Edda. Okay. He's predicting the future. Thor was able to do that. But the twist is the entire fucking series was a schizophrenic episode of this teenage kid.
What?
Yes. It was a schizophrenic episode. This kid a friend of his died, and he felt so traumatic that he started having a schizophrenic effect and started having schizophrenic episodes. The entire story is a schizophrenic episode because he would go into young Thor comic books and read those to escape. And at the end of it, even the director, well, I was like, well, maybe they were just saying that, he's finally put that girl's death behind him and he's finally gotten peace with the Norse gods and so on and so forth. And they did an interview with the writer and says, no, the entire series was a schizophrenic episode. And I was like, you motherfucker. You could have just left it the way we thought it was. But the entire series was a schizophrenic episode. It was him having schizophrenic episodes throughout the entire series. And I was like, fuck you. Plain and simple, just fuck you. That's a horrible ending. Horrible ending. One,
It doesn't even make sense with anything else.
yeah. He was having a schizophrenic, when at the beginning of the series he was having psychological issues because of someone died and so on and so forth. But to do that at the end just kind of pissed me off. And it pissed off a lot of people. The show was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It is dubbed, so, I watched it. It was interesting to see the characters progress, though, because when you look at Thor at the very beginning, he looks like a meek little piece of, scrawny person. And at the end, he's a pretty big jack dude with a good beard. And, everybody changed. The characters grew. It was really fun. But the writers had to fuck it up at the last episode. Could have just left it as the giants and the Norse gods finally got along and they're no longer going to kill each other. Nope.
Can't have nice things.
They had to turn it into the kid was having schizophrenic episodes the entire series and thinking he was Thor with a hammer and all this other stuff, and his brother was Loki and so was Freya and so was Odin. And I was like, oh, you're making my head hurt. I'm like, you're not allowed to write anything anywhere else. Ever. You're not allowed to. So, overall, series was pretty good. I'd give it like a 2. There are a little bit of slow parts, a little bit of interesting parts, but for overall, the ending just fucks up the entire thing. If you don't watch the final episode, you'll be good. Don't watch the final episode. So, there's my spoilered review of Ragnarok, which turned out to be decent. I watched it on a whim, and then the ending turned out to be shit. So, nerd.
Is that your only spoiler of the night?
Nope.
First thing I'm going to talk about is a British movie called Polite Society. It's about a Pakistani family and the young girl trying to rescue her sister from an arranged marriage, but the whole time she's obsessed with becoming a stunt woman. So like all of these scenes play out with these amazing fight sequences, and it's funny, it's sweet, like it's it's obviously action packed, but like she's like tries to kick the school bully's butt and then totally doesn't land her like jump kick, reverse jump kick or whatever, and like is making a fool of herself. So you kind of like feel the character like growing as it goes on, and it's a fun twist that I'm not gonna spoil. Um, but I give it like I would give it one Space Herbie.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed it. Especially one of the fight scenes at the end when they're all decked out in like full wedding garb and doing fight sequences with the skirts and dresses just flying everywhere, just absolutely gorgeous to watch. So,
Nice.
Mizzy?
Maisie.
So, because of TikTok and Reels, and random people posting up different clips of different shows, I got sucked into the show Shameless.
Such a good show.
It is a good show. I'm really pleased with it so far. So pleased that I am on season 3 right now.
I think that's
I've
about
watched
where
2
I'm at with
seasons
my
in a week.
roommate.
I'm really enjoying it so far. There's like 11 seasons of it.
There's a lot,
Or so?
yeah.
It makes me feel better about my family.
Right? Right?
It really does.
I'm
Like,
like,
the
wow, even we weren't this
shenanigans.
dysfunctional.
I'm like, we got our shit, but we ain't got this shit. I'm okay with that. But it's really good. It's a lot of fun. Overall, for the first 2 seasons, I'd give them a 2 total so far.
Okay.
2, yeah. But we're going to keep seeing how they're doing, the Gallaghers and all their shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Lots of shenanigans. Frank, man. That man. Damn.
One of the yeah. I'm trying to remember. Is it Lip? Is that the name of the?
I love Lip.
Yeah.
He's so
He's on
fun.
the show The Bear, which is on my to watch list if I can get past the first episode.
I feel like I've heard of that. I
Yeah,
feel
I've
like I
watched it.
want to watch it.
The Bear's pretty good. Last season
Yeah.
was okay, but yeah.
Lip is great.
Yeah.
Ian is a good favorite of mine too. But yeah, so that's the show that I've been watching while I've been painting, and just in general when I need to chill. Binging it. Good times. So yeah. Gonzo, do you want to get your other spoiler out of the way?
Yeah, let's get the other spoiler out of the way, because fuck this movie. So...
Lots of fucks to be had today.
Yeah, I'm taking up John's slack if you haven't figured it out.
Oh yeah.
So on HBO Max, The Flash is now on there. Now, I was never going to rent or buy The Flash at all. Not going to do it. Not going to give them money. Came on here. I says, I'm going to give it a shot. Even though I hate him and I can't stand him and so on and so forth, and he's a crappy person, I'll give it a shot. Holy fuck, is this movie a piece of shit. I mean, it is bad. The acting is horrible. The special effects are okay. The action is bad. Anything the Flash does is not cool. It's not even fun. The running they made him do, he looks like a total fucking idiot. I mean, it is just complete crap.
Even Michael Keaton couldn't save it?
Michael Keaton did not say this. He was the only one that was kind of decent, and he wasn't even... His story was not even good. Not Michael Keaton. But the story wasn't even good. It wasn't even... His character, even though he was Batman, it was just dumb. I mean, I felt stupider for watching this movie. I mean, it's not... It's just bad writing, bad acting, bad things. Spoiler. Get out of here if you don't care. If you don't want to be spoiled, you got to leave. I'm sorry, because he loses his powers. He loses his Flash powers So to get his flash powers back, he redoes the whole thing again. And I'm like, wow, why don't everybody do that now? Let's just all redo what Barry Allen did to get his powers. And I was like, let's get struck by lightning. And I'm like, oh, this is so bad. The combat, there was only like one cool fight scene, but it was just so bad. And they tried saving it by bringing, like, they showed Christopher Reeve's Superman. They even showed the Nicolas Cage Superman. The different Batmans. I was just like, even the ending of it, after credit scenes, and it's just so bad. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I mean, they were just pulling at straws and just hoping something stuck with this movie, and it didn't. You could tell that they were trying to be as cool as MCU. I mean, and I like DC. I love Batman. I think it's really good. I think they could make some really good movies, but nobody's doing it. I mean, I know James Gunn is taking it over, and he's going to be rebooting the DC universe. Good, because it's shit right now, and I don't care what anybody says. It's just not good. They need to reboot it, get everything new, get everybody in there, restart everything, make everything better, and hopefully he can do a good job of it, because it's bad. Can't stand it. Not happy with it at all. If I'm gonna give this a 4 because it's not as bad as Cats, but I completely pass on this. It is
But
bad.
it's close.
It is close. I mean, I was looking for cool, I love, like, one of my favorite scenes is, Quicksilver and X-Men. And I'm like, cool, speed up, type of stuff, get to do cool things. But the Flash is just a fucking idiot in this. And what he does, and when he's doing super speed mode stuff, it's boring. You're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, that's even worse. So, complete pass. Don't need to do it. Yeah, I agree with James. Big Jim. It looked amazing from a story, from the comics. They just fucked it all up. And Michael Keaton there, cool. It was nice to see him, but it didn't have the same feel bringing in, alternate Batmans than anything else. So, pass. Don't give a fuck. 4 space RPs. Fuck them. Nerd, what you got?
I've got season 2 of Owl House.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
All hail to my favorite character getting more screen time, Hootie.
Yes.
Hootie's my boy. Hootie's my spirit animal. I was also really happy to explore more of King's background and story, or at least trying to figure out who his family is, what he is, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to spoil anything because I'm sure there's still plenty of people out there that haven't watched it, and I haven't gotten to season 3 yet. So, but yeah, and figuring out who the bad guy really is, kind of a thing. It's just like, aha! I kind of wondered. I didn't quite put 2 and 2 together, but compared to season 1, I give it like 1.5.
Okay, that's fair. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Mitzi?
I watched the new Ahsoka.
I did too.
I
So
watched new things.
That's on our list of things to watch this week.
It was okay. It was all right for me. There was a TikTok that pointed out something that is really funny, but I'll get into that in a minute. It was fine. I want more Chopper. Chopper was really fun.
As someone that has watched Rebels and this is a love letter to Rebels, is what it is. Um, is the best way to put it. Is it fun? Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Is the story there? Sort of. Um, they've got a lot of filler to go. We've gotten first 2 episodes, but there's a lot of filler, and there's a lot of stuff they're going to catch up on, and that's the problem.
Yeah. It's not terrible. It's okay. I'll keep watching it.
Yeah.
See where it goes.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I enjoyed it. I'm with you. I enjoyed it. They just got a lot to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I felt about Book of Boba Fett.
I don't think there's going to be any huge issues with it, so we'll just have to wait and see. Fight scenes were fun. Everything was nice. Special effects were good. Characters were good. It'll be fun. We'll just have to wait and see what happens when it happens. Type thing.
So no rating yet, but looking forward to it.
I agree. Yeah.
Gonzo.
So what else? Welcome to another rant. So
Surprise!
Shocking.
I watched My Dad is a Bounty Hunter season 2, which is of course season 1 just happened not too long ago, so it was a quick new season. And fuck people, why can't y'all make up a unique story? This entire season was the Black Panther story. Girls running away from her responsibility, find out she's the princess of this alien race that are very much Wakandan-like. And they have a rare mineral that everybody wants because it provides a lot of extra power to do things. And there's an evil corporate lady trying to steal it.
What is this again?
It's called My Dad the Bounty Hunter. The first season was about this dad that was a
Netflix,
space. Right? It's on Netflix. Was a space
Oh,
bounty hunter,
Gotcha.
and it was very charming, very fun, just a pretty decent show. And it was about these kids that stow away on their father's car, thinking they're follow him to his job, and they find out that he's actually a intergalactic bounty hunter. And find out that actually mom was from outer space too, and they're from outer space. But the second season is pretty much the story of Black Panther. A Wakandan-like group of people have a mineral that everybody wants because it provides superpowers, and this evil corporation is going to try to take it from them. And I was like, this is just Wakanda in space. And it wasn't even good Wakanda in space either. The aliens weren't fun. They lost that little fun thing whenever they created this season. I was very disappointed. I was so sad when I watched this because it wasn't good at all. There was not any good comedy. There was not any good action. It was very much. Will a kid like this? Yes, a kid's going to like it because it's a cartoon. They don't care. And that's most likely what we're going for. But I was like, you copped out on the story, guys. That's kind of bad. It gets a merit rating, my 2.5, because it's just there. There's nothing worth talking about. It wasn't worth writing home about. It's like, just go. Get out of here. Maybe they'll get a third season. Don't know with the way things are going. But if they don't, not upset. Nerd?
I'm going to talk about an audiobook series that I just finished
Okay.
called The Great Library by Rachel Kane. Let me pull up the list because the first one I want to say is Ash and Bone. It's always something and something. There's 5 books in the series, and the premise is, had the Library of Alexandria persisted and become the reigning authority and controlled all distribution of knowledge, to the point of becoming evil, and these kids that are recruited into the library kind of figure out some of what's going on and start a rebellion against the library. and it like one of the kids is a comes from a family of book smugglers, which is like super super illegal. Like having like everybody has essentially like a tablet that automatically fills with whatever book you check out from the library, like the grand archivist or the head archivist like controls who reads what, and stuff gets like squirreled away and burnt. Like if there it's it's really it reads like it reads like it should be a TV series of some kind, but I don't know if it'll ever get produced, but it I would give it probably 2 because it's a young adult series, but it I enjoyed the fact that it was unique compared to a lot of other fantasy that I've read. It's like an alternate history kind of feel.
Cool.
Oh, Mizzy?
So today I watched Treasure Planet because
What?
back of my well, so here's the thing. It was in the back of my mind because there was a TikTok that was talking about Ahsoka, and they had a realization that there were some details in Ahsoka that reminded them of Treasure Planet. And because I was needing something to paint to, because I didn't want to just sit here and I didn't want to listen to music because I listen to music like 7.5 hours a day while I work, type thing. And I'm painting my troll pirate, so I needed inspiration. So it just worked out like that. It's just so much fun. It's Treasure Planet, man. So 1.5, maybe on a bad day. Gem's great. Morph, adorable. Freaking morph. I want a morph. That'd be great. Yeah.
Here's my question. Does Morph actually talk, or does Morph just make noises?
Morph mimics people.
Okay.
He
He is
mimics
acceptable for my new source of affection because I tend to go for the characters that don't actually talk. Like fish out of water and Chicken Little, or
Bait.
Hey.
Bait and Glow Toad.
Yeah, you need to watch the new season because Bait is really,
we need to get
really
Netflix
good.
again. We don't have Netflix.
Yeah, this new season, Bait plays a big role in it.
I need to catch up on Dragon Prince.
Yes.
I wrote
Yes,
Glow
Xander.
Toads into one of my D&D campaigns.
Yeah, hey from Moana. So I did a flashback of watching a movie because I'm trying to watch one of my movies that I was, a teenager, every like one a week at least. And I had this week off from work, so I was like, let's see what it is. So I was on Netflix and saw that Ferris Bueller's Day Off was there.
Yes!
And I'm like, this is such a classic. I can quote the movie. I've seen it so many fucking times. It's not even funny.
Same.
It still resonates to today. There's, kids still don't want to go to school. They want to skip school. They want to try to, get one over on their parents, get one over on their, their school, try to one up everything. And it's still pretty decent. Is some of the things they do, of course, technology would, trump everything. So like that wouldn't happen, cell phones nowadays wouldn't be able to get around some of the things that they were doing. But for the most part, it's still a fun movie. It's still pretty cool. It's still got a decent soundtrack. It still resonates to today's youth. It's still fun. I still like it. I give it like half a Space Herpes because it doesn't age as well because there are some stuff in that are kind of cringe nowadays. But it's still pretty decent. Nerd, do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Ms., do you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay. So
Back to you.
am listening to a book series by Rebecca Yarros, Fourth Wing, which is being touted as the new Harry Potter. And I can see why it's being touted as the new Harry Potter. It is a story about a girl that gets drafted or told to be in, go to the school so she can learn to ride dragons, become a dragon rider, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not done reading it, so I'm not going to give it a review. But I can 100% see how this appeals to the young adult reader right now. I can 100% see how this is going to take off. The next book comes out in November. This was only published in April, and the new book is going to be in November. So they're pushing these out as quickly as possible, type thing. It is very much young adult with it does play kind of in a modern themes. Does have some sexually explicit material. Nothing bad. It's not like she describes sex with people, but there's very much mentions like people walking out of dorm rooms that they shouldn't be walking out of, stuff like that. There are queer people in it, so it's a modern take. It is very Harry Potterish in a way. They go to a school to become so on and so forth. It is violent. It does not shy away from the violence and death, which is okay. I do get a kind of a Mary Sue vibe from this character, but I'm not all the way completely through the book yet. But it's been pretty decent. I'm like, it's okay. One of our friends have binged the book in like 3 minutes, so I need to hurry up and catch up and finish it so we can talk about it. And because I'm listening to it on Audible.
You need to hurry up and finish it so I can listen to it.
And then she can listen to it too. But, I mean, it's not bad. It very much can appeal to the Harry Potter fan. Very much can appeal to the young adults. But it's geared towards that. The plot, I saw it a mile away. I'm like, oh, this is what's going to happen. When they were talking about stuff, I'm like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Yep, that's what happened, type thing. But, I mean, it's not bad. There's some pretty funny lines in there. There's some good, things to listen to. It's entertaining, the best way to put it. Is it my entertainment? Sort of. I could see them trying to push this for a movie series. I could see them trying to push this as a movie or a TV series pretty quickly. Because Hollywood is just pushing remakes like crazy. And this is something that's not a remake, but would appeal to the Harry Potter fans. So if you like Harry Potter, go for it. You'll enjoy it. The audiobook's not bad. The lady that's doing it tries to do different voices, and it's not as great, but she's not bad. But if you like reading books, you'll read this, and it'll be a pretty quick read. My last thing I want to talk about is I listened to the newest Dragonlance, the new Dragon of Despair, which is book 2, and no review. It was still fun, still interesting. Tasselhoff is still fun as shit, and he still fucks everything up.
Of course he does.
But it's pretty decent, and I'm waiting for book 3, and I don't know when that's going to come. Probably going to be another year before that one comes out. But you never know. Hopefully it comes out quickly because I want to hear it. I want to know the ending of the story because time travel with Tasselhoff barefoot. Cookie, they take place. The start of the book takes place during the War of the Lance, right around where the queen is assaulting castles and doing some other stuff. Spoiler: if you haven't read the books, read it. It's right before Sturm's demise is when this takes place. But it has time traveling in it, and so they go to the past, and then they go back to the very, very past where you meet Huma, So it goes back in the back, pass. So, but it's
All
been
the way
good.
back.
Yeah. But of course, Tasselhoff's, and so he screws everything up and changes history.
Well,
Every
Big
time
surprise.
you're saying Tasselhoff, I just hear Hasselhoff, and I'm
Uh.
just picturing David Hasselhoff.
Much shorter.
But Cookie,
Kinder.
they've been good. It's a new one. I have a feeling that they might reboot the War of the Lance and may reboot the entire, after the War of the Lance. I don't know. I don't know if they will or not. I wouldn't mind if they did, the War of the, rebooted the world after the War of the Lance. So it could be, we could maybe have some really cool RPGs. I read all the books about their kids too. This actually happens in the middle of book 2, and then they go back in time. Kinders are a very cool race. Darth Gallon, thanks for your first time chat, buddy. Kinders are awesome. So the originally the story starts as middle of book 2 of the Chronicles, and then they go back to book 1, and then they go back even further in time to the Legend of Huma and the first Dragonlance Wars before they even had Dragonlances. And you get Dragonlances, and you learn about Huma and Magius and all this other stuff. So it's been pretty fun. So,
Cool.
Here's my question:
Uh-huh.
Are there gully dwarves?
No gully dwarfs in this. No gully dwarfs.
Darn, they're my favorites.
One too many. Gully dwarf counting. One too many.
Yep.
So
I played a gully dwarf mastermind rogue.
you got to change the mastermind part on that, but yes.
Oh no, she was an idiot savant. It was great.
Nice.
So, I do recommend those. I'm waiting for, like I said, I'm waiting for book 3. I want to see how they finish it. If they're going to just correct time or they're going to reboot after the Lance and then have those books be, an alternate storyline, an offshoot now. So, guys, we appreciate you being on. I don't know if we're going to have a show next week because I have to go out of town. It'll all depend. I'll make an executive decision later because I have to go out of town this weekend. But, guys, please take care of yourself. Please look after each other. If you see something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you can't, find someone that will. And if you hear something, do something about that too, because we ain't got to put up with this shit no more. We're going to be sending you off to the painting dad. I don't know what he's doing, but probably painting some Warhammer stuff. So make sure you go over and say hi to him. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm Captain Mizzy.
I'm Nerd.
Good night.